Welcome to RHTV. My name is Julieta and I'm here with
Tori.
Cole John.
and our special guest is
Sean.
We're going to start off with an icebreaker, and the first question is, what two things can you never eat for breakfast?
Ooh, one of them is definitely chicken and something like broccoli.
Yeah, I
For
hate
dinner,
broccoli.
100%, you got to get the iron, but not for breakfast, no way.
Yeah. Another question. What kind of band never plays music?
What kind of band never plays music?
Yeah.
It's a riddle.
It's a riddle, yeah. A little riddle.
Riddle me
A
this.
little riddle for you.
Like a band, like...
I don't know.
Band.
Not
Like-
money.
like-
You
That's
said
what I'm
band
saying.
for band.
What
That's what
kind
I'm
of
saying.
band never plays music?
Like
the
a band
question.
like that.
Music.
I don't know.
A band of, like, money.
No,
Whatever band you want.
you're thinking about it too literally, like too
It's
metaphorically.
What kind of band never plays music?
Is there an answer to the question, or you're asking me
Yes.
my opinion?
There's general answer to the question.
It's a riddle.
It's a riddle.
He's so...
I don't know still.
You don't know?
Help me out. Can I phone a friend?
No, it's no phone.
no.
It's no friends to phone.
I don't know.
It's
You're going to
not
have to
ones.
tell me still.
A rubber band.
So I got it. That's what I said, a band.
No,
like a rubber
no,
band.
a
you put on
rubber
money.
band, as in-
That's what I said.
No, you
No.
didn't. You didn't get that. You didn't get that. You didn't get that.
So that's a rubber band that you put on money. That's exactly what I said.
No.
So you have
No.
to give me that still.
The third question is, what would you do with £1 million?
Ooh, 1 million is a lot of money. I'm not gonna say buy my mum a house because that's what everyone says, but I would divvy it up to different organisations that do good work in the community and uplift people. Region Higher might be on that list. I would give some to my friends. I'd give some to people that need it urgently, maybe people that are homeless. I'll distribute. I reckon I'll put 50% and distribute it to people that need money urgently to pay bills, to buy food, to buy clothes, whatever they need to do. Donate a quarter of it to organisations, and then use the other quarter to play around with. Maybe go on holiday, buy some nice things. I wouldn't buy a car though. I wouldn't buy a nice car.
Okay. If you weren't a teacher, what would you be?
That's a very mad question. I don't know.
Really?
Well, I don't know, because sometimes things just happen and things could happen differently. Do you know what I mean? So there's another world where I could have been doing a different job that I'm not enjoying, or I'm just doing a job because I need to make the money and to get by. Do you know what I mean? So could have been anything. Like I used to work in Tesco, I used to work in Sainsbury's, jobs that needed to be done, but I didn't necessarily enjoy the work that I was doing. I think something that contributes to society, I would be doing. So I've always said I would be happy to be a bin man, for example, collect people's bins. When you was in school, people say, your dad's a bin man or whatever. But anything that's contributing to society functioning, I think is a worthwhile job, and I could see myself doing it.
How did you end up as a teacher?
So I started as a TA probably about nearly 3 years ago. I was actually unemployed at the time, so I was on something called Job Seekers Allowance, which is what people, like, it's a benefit that people claim when they're unemployed. My previous work went a bit wrong, so I said I need a bit of a break from working. And then you have like a work coach when you're claiming JSA, and they ask you what kind of job do you want to do, and I said I want to do a job with people. I don't want to be in the office behind the screen. I want to do like a people job. So he said, yeah, there's a role here as a TA at a school. I said, yeah, that sounds good. Obviously went for the interview, got the job, and then from there kind of got into different roles.
How do you find being a teacher?
It's great.
It's great.
Yeah.
Why?
I really enjoy it because no 2 days are the same. Like every day is different. Different things happen. I think it's a privilege to work with South London's young people. I think there's a lot of opportunity to make change in society and in young people's lives that I hope I can achieve when I go to work. So that, for me, that makes it worthwhile. Gets me up in the morning. I'm motivated to go.
So, with you being a teacher, what do you do in your day-to-day and how do you find it?
Lots of different things. I find it very busy, but also very enjoyable. So my role is actually more focused on like safeguarding and pastoral work in the school rather than like classroom. Obviously spend a little bit of time in a classroom, but yeah, mainly focused on like attendance, behaviour, well-being for the year group that I'm attached to, safeguarding. So if young people are coming in with any issues, whether it's at home or in the community that come to light, whether like they might come the day before to one of their class teachers or they might come directly to me on the day. And yeah, there might be an issue that needs dealing with. Could be urgent. We'll have to deal with it there and then. Could be something we can deal with a bit later. But yeah, first thing in the morning, the focus is like attendance calls. So calling parents if their child or young person's not in school, try and find out where they are, why they're not in school, work on any issues that mean they're not in school. And then as the day goes on, it's more focused on supporting young people through the day with any issues they might have with other students or with teachers or any challenges in school that we can work on to improve their school life. We'll work on them. Daytime, like 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock is like supporting young people in the building. And then outside of those hours, there's a lot of like admin, might be referrals, might be emails, might be logging things. But I find that difficult to get done in a day because obviously everyone's in the building, lessons are happening, things are going on that need dealing with there and then.
So with that, do you actually like really enjoy it?
Yeah, 100%. Like I've never done a job that I enjoy as much as this one. Obviously it's stressful, it's busy, it's tiring. But I feel like all of that's worth it because I enjoy the work. Whereas other jobs I've done, they might be a bit more laid back. You can leave a bit earlier or the hours are shorter in the week. But the work is not fulfilling. Like, you like I used to work for a company. I was just selling things. Like I'm answering the phone, selling stuff. Like it's not really fulfilling. It's not really where my passion is. If that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, I hear that.
Obviously, we have a pastoral team in all of our schools. So, how impactful do you guys think that they are, like, on you as a student?
I'll be honest. In Oasis, it was much more where like I had a teacher called Mr. Mayo. He was, I think you might know him, Mr. Mayo.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah, he would actually check up on me on every day. But like these teachers, my actual pastoral team, they really care about me being on a report. How many negatives are? But they do actually really care about the students, in my opinion. But as in that Oasis, but that's how I feel.
What about you, Tori?
Well, for me, yeah, I don't really like connect with the pastoral team. Don't really like, because like some students get taken out of class and stuff to like talk to them about like just life in general. But me personally, I don't really do that or haven't been picked or applied. So yeah, I don't really know, but I think it's effective.
I mean, me too. I don't really interact with the pastoral team. It's not really like, I feel like they're more aimed at like students of like certain students, and I feel like I'm not one of them, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I hear that. That's fine. I always try and focus on certain students. They come to your attention more often in it because they're struggling with certain things, and it's more obvious that they need support. And other students kind of crack on and just get on with it, and it might seem like they don't need as much support, but all young people deserve support and need support in certain ways, innit? I would just say, if your teachers ain't noticing that, I don't think it's not an intentional thing. They're probably just very busy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're in your school, you probably know better than me, but yeah, I wouldn't say it's an intentional thing where they're like, you can just get on with it, like you're fine. I think there's not enough hours in the day to support young people as much as they deserve it. Do you know what I mean? And don't be like shy to reach out to them as well, because I'm sure if you went to them and was like, yo, miss, like I'm struggling with this and that, they might be like, right, I didn't even realise that was going on for you. And if they're half decent at the job, then they're gonna say, all right, cool, what can we do?
Yeah.
They will make a point to check in with you or support you in other ways as well.
But that's like what mentors are for. 'Cause me personally, I have a mentor from P4YE. They come in and they mentor like a lot of students in my class. So I feel like they're probably taking the role of the pastoral managers. And I'll probably say that.
Yeah, and that's interesting you say that. A lot of my role is also managing those kind of programs or organisations that come into the school. Like we've got probably like 10, 15 throughout this year. P4YE come in. They didn't do mentoring, but they've done some other delivery. So a lot of my role is like communicating with them, liaising with them, making sure that the mentoring sessions are happening. Because what I would say as well, like I've got 108 young people in my year group. There's 2-3 people in the year team. That's just not enough staff to like support those 108 young people properly. So we rely on P4YE, Reaching Higher, Lives Not Knives, all them kind of organisations to come in and have take that time, because I would love to spend like 30 minutes a week with certain young people, but I just don't have the time. If mentors can come in and they do have that time and that's their job to like allocate that specific time for that young person, I think that's really helpful. And so you feel like it's something that benefits you, yeah?
Yeah, most likely, yeah. No, not just me though, like other students as well. Cause I know students that would be would be of much more help with more support from the school. But I have another question for you. What do you think needs to be like improved about schools?
There's a lot of things. Number one thing I would say is capacity, which is like, kind of what I just said. Like, there's not enough staff to do the job as well as it can be done. So, I don't know if you're aware, but like, there's a national crisis of staffing in education. So I'm sure you remember last year there was a strike. Teachers went on strike for 8 days because like teachers don't get paid enough. The hours are very long for the pay. It's a difficult job to do, and for a lot of people, it's not that appealing. So the government are like failing to recruit enough teachers, which means like, for example, if your teacher leaves, I'm sure you probably know this as well. Like if your teacher leaves, they struggle to find a replacement. So you'd be having cover lessons, and like all of those things are problematic. And I think, that is like the main problem I would say with education is like the funding and the resources are not what they should be. Like, for example, like teaching assistants that support young people with learning needs, like there's not enough of them in schools. There needs to be more, because there's a lot of young people that just don't get the support that they need in school because of a lack of funding and a lack of resources. And I think there's enough money to go around, and if we're going to fund anything in this country, like education is a really important thing.
Would you guys ever become teachers? Like, genuinely?
No.
Why?
No. Straight, I know, like, I know teachers that have been here and left, like, that's my fear. Cause imagine me, like, being, because of my size as well, imagine a student hits me, like, I'm hitting them back. And I know it will be illegal, but I'm joking, I wouldn't hit them back, but obviously there'll be, like, some sort of self-control to have to be a teacher, and maybe I wouldn't have that self-control, but maybe back when I'm older, most likely, maybe, but...
Can I ask you a question?
Go on.
Do you think when I was, were you 14, 15, like when I was a teenager, do you think if someone asked me, you're going to be a teacher, I would have said, yeah, 100%, that's my dream? No way. So I'm not surprised you said that, but I think a lot of my friends as well, that like when we was in school, used to hate school, like was anti-school. As we've grown older, obviously we need work, we need to be doing something. There's a lot of jobs in education as well, do you know what I mean? And like a lot of, like, if I'm out with like a group of 10 of my friends, 4 or 5 of us work in education, whether it's as a TA or pastoral support as a teacher. Like, it's something that as you grow up, I think either you or like your friends will get into, just because like when you will leave school, I think you'll miss the school environment as well, and I don't think you would mind being back. But maybe I'm wrong in it. That's just my prediction.
Maybe.
Is there anything in particular that you would like improve about schools, and like if you could, how would you do it?
I think I would improve like student voice, I think people call it, but like young people having a say and an influence in how like the school is run, because a lot of it is like, and obviously it needs to be like this to a certain extent, but a lot of it is young people come in and get told like what they need to do, how they need to behave, what needs to happen, what they need to wear, all that kind of stuff. And it's a lot of like, adults telling young people what to do, which I think is fine to an extent, but also think young people deserve to have like agency over their lives. Like, you spend a long time going to school, like every single day of your life for like 5 years, secondary plus primary. So young people deserve a say in how that school is run. Do you know what I mean? And again, because schools are so busy, like if someone, let's say someone wants to be asked, like, can you start doing some student voice or student council and make sure young people are having that influence in the school, people will be like, yeah, I'd love to, but I haven't got time because I'm doing this or I'm doing that. And I think it would be worth employing someone, if the resources and the funding was there, that can lead on that for young people and make, like, when young people come to school, they're like, this school belongs to me as well. Like, it's something that I've created and influenced. It's not just something that's being done to me, if that makes sense. Because if I was like, do you not feel like your schools are, like, you influence how your school runs or anything like that?
No.
Not at all. My school doesn't even know how to have culture there.
That's
exactly.
mad.
They got rid of our
That's
culture
controversial
day.
still.
Did they?
Yeah, I don't know. It's not gonna happen.
Oh, really? So you had one and they're saying
One
no more.
last year, and then I don't know if it's happening again.
Is it?
But what they did, they made some big change. Like all of a sudden, like basically due to COVID, like we all had to like split playgrounds. So it was year 10s and year 11s, and then year 9s, year 8s, and year 7s all in one playground.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, now we have to share with the whole school. And it was just like all of a sudden they changed it like completely, and it was just such a big change, and we had no say in it, and we were trying to tell them that we don't like it, and we've been telling the teachers, but they're just like, it's already been done, there's nothing more they can do.
What they're trying to do is that they're saying this is a trial one till September, so like we can do like a survey or something if we genuinely don't like it.
But
So-
they've already made the change, so it's like,
No,
So
like
have they done the survey yet?
no,
No.
they're gonna do these like 2 weeks, I think, and then in September they will change it.
I don't think they're gonna make the change there, honestly.
So how come they got rid of culture day? It's a
I
hot
don't think they
topic.
did, but it hasn't happened yet. It happened. When was it? Last
It
year.
was supposed to happen, but I don't know, because there was a lack of like preparation for it.
I think it's in October.
So would you say it was a success? Like, did the day go well?
Yeah.
It hasn't happened yet. It happened last year.
That's what I
It
mean.
was good.
Last year.
Oh, yeah, it was good. It was good.
It was lit,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
My school hasn't had one culture day. Ever.
Neither's my school. Neither's my school. But
I've been to, like I went to Oasis. Oasis never had culture day. I went to Harris Crystal Palace. Harris Crystal Palace never had culture day. Like I want to be wearing my kente, like my African wear to school. I can't be doing that. But it's not really just that. Like me saying that is like the schools are just too strict in my opinion. Some schools like can be more lenient because this phone, if I had this phone in my pocket, it would get confiscated for 2 weeks. Of my,
what do you mean if it's in your pocket?
if it's in my pocket
And they
if you
can see it.
if they can see it, they'll take the phone.
Crazy.
What if as in if it's hanging out your pocket?
Not hanging, just in the pocket. Like,
So where's
in
it meant
the
to be? In your bag?
Yeah, and that's why my phone's like this.
Oh.
Shit, the cameras. Yeah, that's exactly why.
You
my
need to
phone's
invoice
like
the school
this.
for the phone then.
Ye-
But I think I hear it. But schools have got to have a rule around phones, innit? Because otherwise,
The old rule was
Just out in
like, not
class.
seen, not heard.
yeah.
I will find that in my pocket. Where do you want me to put my phone? Like sometimes some of the rules are just too strict.
I think
sometimes.
I think not seen or heard is fair.
Yeah.
If it's in the pocket, it's off. I can't really say justification for that. I think that's important as well. Like because my school recently brought in a phones policy. That's like if it's seen or heard, it gets taken to end of the day, second time, end of the week, etc. But actually, because there was like an assembly, head teacher explained to like every single year group, this is the reason for it, this is the justification for it. Actually, the young people responded quite well. It's gone smooth. There's not really been much pushback from the young people about it, and I think they appreciate it because they know it's helping them focus and it's helping them around the building. But that's because there's a reason behind it. You can't just be asking young people to just do this and do that without a reason. There has to be justification for it as well.
See, my school there was no like justification or reason. They just brought this new rule and they done some little slide shit that no one even watched. But like it was just I feel like in my point, it wasn't really like I don't know what to say. Like it wasn't really justified. Like they didn't have a reason behind doing it. Just done it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's because I Rishi Sunak there.
What did
What?
Rishi
What?
Sunak do?
No, they wrote a little
He
something.
banned phones, and then the school said it's because of that.
Oh.
Yeah, the government wrote some guidance that was basically like phones are a distraction in
The
school.
government,
And like
Rishi Sunak.
he's the prime minister, so he leads the government, innit?
Yeah,
What?
Rishi Sunak.
Yeah.
Rishi Sunak.
Bun them, man, innit? Anyway, but
Oh.
Yeah.
he the government put a thing basically empowering schools to like tackle the phones problem, innit? So after that, young schools were kind of like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
It's probably what last few months, innit? Yeah, there you go.
But-
Okay, so like
Oh, okay.
So
going
what?
back to the improvement about schools, I'm gonna change the question a little bit. Like, so what don't you like about schools, and like, can you change it?
I think one thing I wouldn't say it's just about schools, but I say it's about like the education system in general.
Yeah.
Is that it's a bit like one size fits all. So a lot of young people can come in and like sit down in the classroom for 6 periods a day and learn and do what they need to do without like many problems. But for some young people, that's difficult for whatever reason, whether it's stuff going on in their personal life, whether it's context they've come up in, whether it's like a learning need or something like that. They can find that really difficult. They can find like the constant like direction and instructions from teachers difficult to handle. And then when that escalates, I don't think there's many options for school if like behaviour is becoming really high level, other than like an exclusion or like moving them on to alternate provision. And I think there just needs to be better options and opportunities for young people that thrive outside of a classroom environment, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of young people that can do really well and have massive potential sometimes don't reach that potential because of how the education system's set up. And that's not like one school in particular, but it's a problem with the education system as a whole. But I think also to change that, like we have to change society as well. Like education is very much like, I think, geared to prepare young people to enter the world of work and to become adults and to get by in society as we know it, which is, there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of competition. So like the whole exams thing, like from year 16, even from you do SATs in year 6, like you're competing with other kids, you're competing with your classmates and your friends to try and get the highest grade. Same with GCSEs, same with A-levels. And like, I think education can be done in a different way, where it's about the actual education and the love of learning and wanting to gain greater knowledge and understanding of the world, rather than like, I need to get a better grade than so-and-so so I can get into this school, sixth form or this university. Like, but that's how society is. When you leave, you're competing with other people for jobs and for opportunities and for houses, and society's set up like that, where people are competing with each other, and I don't think it should be like that. I think we can live a different way, and if we're going to change schools, we need to change like society as a whole, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all we have time for. So we'll be ending this now.
Damn.
And that was
Julieta.
Tori
Go, John.
and
And I was Sean. Thanks for having me.
thank you
guys.
for tuning in.
Yeah, bow.
They better come clap us out. I want my outro.
Out here.